Hello, I'm Kirsty Corley, Director of Marketing at Bishop Burton and Riseholme College. I'm here today with Bill Meredith, who is CEO and Principal at Bishop Burton and Riseholme College, and we're here to talk about how the college will continue to operate as lockdown is lifted with the COVID-19 situation. So, Bill, can you tell us a little bit about how the college has adapted to the situation as a result of COVID-19?
Well, I guess our biggest adaptation, Kirsty, has been to transfer all our learning to an online platform, which has obviously been very challenging. This COVID-19 lockdown happened very, very quickly. We were prepared to a degree, but not to go 100% online. Having said that, we have maintained some face-to-face tuition for some of our more vulnerable learners, but that's a relatively few learners. What I would like to do is just thank all the staff and the students for the efforts they've made to adapt as well as they have, because I think they've done a brilliant job despite the difficulties, despite having to juggle sometimes family life with work priorities.
Can you tell us a little bit more about when you think students will receive their qualifications?
Yes, that's a bit more tricky. It depends on which course, really. We are pressing off qual for our vocational courses, so to get an answer from them as to exactly what we need to do in the way of assessment. And we're hopefully going to be able to update students very shortly. It's a bit different with higher education, where the students now are fairly clear that they can complete in the time frame expected. We're working with our university partners.
What was it like moving teaching to a remote delivery model?
Well, it was enormously challenging because we had to do it overnight. And we were reasonably well prepared. We've got very good IT infrastructure within the college, but some of our students out there didn't have the broadband access necessarily. They maybe didn't have the hardware. We've gone as far as we can in providing the systems for them to use. But of course that has been quite challenging with the number of students who are having those sort of problems. Most of them have bared with us, and we've managed to resolve their problems, and we will continue to do so.
Has it been successful overall? And if so, what has worked well?
Yes, I think the remote learning has been particularly successful. Despite some of the difficulties, we've had some very positive feedback from students. Actually, we did survey our students, and most of them seem to be, and I'm saying most, 80–90% of them seem very happy with the learning they're doing online. And they've been particularly happy with the way we've used things like Zoom, video conferencing, Teams, webinars, and our own virtual learning environment, iLearn, has been particularly useful in actually both providing students with the information in an interactive way and also enabling us to assess online.
From any of the feedback that you've received, have you been able to adapt and take that on board?
Yes, we have. Yes, we've had to strengthen certain areas. Students seem to like a lot of face-to-face wherever possible, so something like Zoom or Teams they seem particularly happy with. It's not enough just to put information online to use the iLearn virtual learning environment as a repository, as a store. That's not really helpful to students who are used to a more interactive style of learning. So we've been learning as we've been going along, and I can see that this style of delivery, perhaps blended with classroom teaching, is where we're going to be going in the future. So there will be a sort of a new normal. Teaching next year is going to actually benefit from what we're learning during this process of lockdown.
So you must be developing new policies, procedures to make sure that everything is in place for the future, whether it's a full remote delivery model that we follow or a blended model, as you say.
Yes, and we've got quite a lot of work still to do, quite honestly, on policy and procedure. At the moment, we're just trying to get all the mechanics right and make sure our students actually are progressing on their courses so that they can complete on time and progress to the next level. Whether it be into the next level of further education, progressing into higher education potentially, or of course going on to the first rung of the ladder in their career.
Are you in a position to tell us anything about how the college will operate in the future under the new normal?
Oh, well, we've just had some fairly detailed guidance from the Department for Education, which is looking at things like social distancing, staying 2 metres apart, stepping up the hand washing to make sure that we've got fewer students in college at any one time. So we're just seeing how that works out in practice to make sure that we are well prepared for students and staff when they come back. And I'd like to stress that the health and well-being of our students and staff is our absolute priority.
Is that something that you're able to communicate in full soon, or are you working on the plans so that we can deliver them fully when everything's in place? We are
scenario planning at the moment, so there are various scenarios, and it will all depend on this R factor that we've all been hearing about, the infection rate. So if we can keep it below 1, we're going to hopefully be on target to start again September, possibly even earlier than September for certain groups of students. We don't know as yet because we don't know how this thing is going to pan out, but it's my job and the job of all the staff to keep students informed, both our existing students and new students who will be starting with us in September.
Can you guarantee that there's going to be a good destination for all students?
Couldn't guarantee there's going to be exactly what everybody wants, but 97% of our students typically progress to the next level, a successful outcome. So we do have a track record of getting students onto the next level of education or into a job. We've got superb facilities at the college. We do involve employers. We've got some great employer partners who come into the college to support what we do, and we're using those in our online delivery. And so they've got as good a chance as to progress at Bishop Burton doing vocational courses with us than they have anywhere, I would suggest.
Okay. Can I just ask you finally, any students that are thinking about joining the college in September? Obviously, there's a lot of uncertainty about how their exam results will be delivered and what that will mean. What can you say to them if they're thinking about joining the college community?
I appreciate there's a lot of anxiety about just how they're going to get their place at college, but I'd like to reassure them that we will guarantee all of our prospective students a place on the course and on a level which is suitable to their needs. We will be able to, in the first few weeks, change students around a little bit. We always do, so they can find the right level whilst they're with us. But we have pathways in every area that go from level 1 upwards so that we can find the right course for each individual.
Thank you. Thanks for your time today, Bill. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Just to thank everybody for their patience so far in this very difficult situation. It's been tremendous, the effort that's been put in to make online teaching and learning work.